so welcome to a bonus in ShawScope, as requested, well, kind of requested by listener Rodney Dennis. Hello, Rodney. And he requested that I, Clive Davis, him,
Darren Jones,
and him,
Nick Sheehan,
talk about To Kill a Jaguar.
I don't think he did actually request that.
No, I just realised, no, I'm making that up.
But he didn't request that at all.
No, he kindly shared.
He was talking to us about it, and we thought it'd be a good idea to talk to everyone about it.
Yes, and he kindly shared an uncut To Kill a Jaguar.
Unbanned.
And that's a good excuse for us to talk about. Yes, so To Kill a Jaguar. So we're jumping forward. That's why it's a bonus. We're not staying in chronological. We're going ahead to 1977. As directed by Hua Shan. And this is a period, 1930s, I guess.
A republic era is what you'd call it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Call it like a republic, like Vengeance, isn't it? It's like that era.
Takes place in Shanghai. And Nora Miao plays a Bobo.
In pigtails.
Yes. And also there's these flashes of Nora Miao nudity as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Nora Miao's.
Well,
No.
it is. Well, it is and it isn't, because the story goes according to that book we read, Nick. That what's his face, Sex Pest wrote.
Yeah.
Apparently, Nora Miao nudity was included in this film against her wishes, and apparently she was furious.
Oh.
So Shaw Brothers.
It's edited in a way.
It is. I would agree with you. If I saw it, I would think it's a body double as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the case, Shaw Brothers, very, very, very naughty.
Naughty boys.
Double behavior, naughty boys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Don't do it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's an audio podcast. No one can see you put your thumbs up.
Aaron, you've given the game away. I'm trying to hide in plain sight as best I can. Don't go rumbling me.
Someone like you will never be able to hide in plain sight.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Yes. The connective tissue that Clive speaks often of is in fact the wads of Kleenex that he has connected with his own.
My Shifu, Jimmy Savile, would be very proud. So anyway,
Gary Glitter's getting out as well, apparently.
He is out. Yeah. I met him at the gates. He said, do you want to be in my gang? Do you want to be in my pedo gang? Go on, Clive.
Yes.
And I said, no, guys.
This is about gangs as well, isn't it?
Yes.
It is. It's very much a kind of Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in Shanghai. I thought I was reading reviews of this and people were making allusions to The Godfather, but I was like, no, it's much
generous.
More, well, maybe. But to my mind, it has much more that vibe of, we get flashbacks to them as little kids and then now they're gangsters and the love triangle. All that stuff was very... Oh, and now that I think about it, when the hell is...
1930s.
Once Upon a Time in the West. Mid-70s.
What is the year for Once Upon a Time in America?
84. Oh, no.
It's 80, yes, it's after this. Never mind.
Yeah.
There we go. Maybe he ripped off this.
So who's in this then? Then?
Well, yeah, so there's Nora Miao. She's in the city. She's looking for her dad. Instead, she meets Jaguar, as played by Sung Hua.
And his mustache.
Yes, who kind of works for... So basically the big boss... And again, spoilers, I don't care because I didn't like this.
Yep.
So you've got Wai Wang, who also co-directed Lewd Lizard, by the way. Wei Wang plays the main gangster guy who does turn out to be her dad. And
Yep.
he has lackeys in the form of Tsung-Hwa, Chan Shen, who has the perfect lackey face, doesn't he? Actually?
Oh, he's great.
Um,
Chan Shen.
and all, speaking of people who've never been young, Hao Li Zhen as well.
Yeah.
It's just, quite funny
It
actually
just-
to see him as like a non-benevolent,
Yeah.
non-wise. He's an old, pervy old gangster. It's
Yeah,
great.
he's just a squirmy, horrible
Yeah,
little shit,
yeah.
isn't he? Well, and that's the thing, actually. That's one of the things about this film that I quite like. Well, sort of like, is everyone's kind of sleazy in this.
They're horrible. They're all horrible.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Well,
And
with
they're
possible
all
exception of
like-
Nora Meow. But,
And they're all, or even she's kind of, understandably, deliberately horrible at a certain point, right? Just forced into that situation as well. But yeah, so basically, I don't understand how they get any business done, because they're spending their whole time seemingly trying to undercut each other, double
Backstab.
each other, backstabbing. I mean, it's almost farcical, actually, because almost every other scene is a reference to an earlier scene where someone was double crossing you. Turns out someone else is double crossing that, but So, but basically, Jaguar's the guy, and it seems as if he falls for Nora Meow and he gives her presents, and then it turns out that the whole time, it's because he's kind of trapped her as his mistress, so he can put his thumb on Waiwan, because it's all this kind of struggle for power, right? Basically, is
right. But also his boss has stolen his fiance, right? So there's an element of revenge as well for that.
There's a revenge.
That him being cuckolded by his boss.
To be honest,
he puts a cigar out on at one point.
Yeah, he does on one of his girls. Yeah. He does.
No, that's good. That's the fiance.
Oh, is it? Oh, yes, it is. Yes,
Yeah.
as played by who's that then? That's
Oh, I didn't write it down.
I did write it down, but now I can't read my own writing. It doesn't matter. It's not a very good film.
Yep.
And it's actually a fairly simple plot, really, except it seems more complicated than it is, because there's all. So at the first, I was making notes. I was, he's double. Okay, character, writing down character. He's double. And then after a while, I was like, this is daft. This is stupid. I don't need to do this, because the main thread cuts through it quite nicely. It's a lot of candy floss. It's a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
So it's choreographed by Yen Ching Yan and Yeo Ping. And again, I think I don't know. That's probably a draw for a Yang Wu Ping choreographed.
Not when you see it. It's not.
Well, no, that's the thing, isn't it? It's not. You wouldn't say it's not that it's badly choreographed or there's bad action in it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's just I don't know. It's
pedestrian. It's pedestrian late 70s Shaw Brothers choreography.
Yeah.
That is not Robert Tai. That is not like Lucia Lang.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
reckless.
Which points towards an embarrassment of riches, which is a good thing. But it really does feel like they're over on this part of the lot shooting this film. We need a fight scene. Can you drag some of the people over from... They're shooting a Shaolin film over there. Can you bring them over on their lunch break, put them in gangster outfits, and we'll have a bit of a brawl here, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It is quite fun, though. It is quite fun seeing the whole of the Yun clan and Yun Biao getting their asses kicked in.
And things. Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's almost like they're hoisted by their own petard in this case, just that they're at such a high level that.
Yeah, but this is. I mean, they're doing some fucking good stuff in '76 and '77, and particularly '78.
Yeah.
And this is nowhere near as good as they are in this era.
I suppose it doesn't have to be, right, because it's not a kung fu film; it's a gangster film, right? So
yeah, but there's kung fu in it, and
that's the weird thing, isn't it? It's like it's neither fish nor fowl. Like if they'd have just said, "Look, let's not have any proper food. Let's just have skirmishes and brawls." Okay, but like you said, they do actually go to the trouble of, but they don't.
Yeah, there's flips and there's yeah. And fucking Wang Lung Wei is in this.
Yeah, I know, and he does
Wasted.
Yeah,
Wasted.
yeah.
Tell us if this is going over your head, by the way, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm not chiming in.
And apparently, Frankie Chan had access to whatever that library music is, and I still don't know. But
I thought you worked it out. I saw there was a Facebook
no,
post.
I still don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's library music, but for me, it's always the Mr. Creosote is about to explode.
It is, yeah.
Because I saw Meaning of Life over and over and over again as a kid. It's that, yeah, that very Jaws.
Because it's kind of a little bit like the Jaws music.
Yeah.
Definitely
Jawsy.
Yeah.
But I don't know from which music library but I have, and then of course this is 6 years before Meaning of Life, right? So, and I have seen it in some other kung fu films as well, but I still haven't actually identified, if it's De Wolf or something else,
Yeah.
But I'd like to know, and they use it a fuck lot in this film.
Yeah. To be fair, it's quite well used. I quite like the way they use it.
Oh yeah. It's just if you know it, it's just
Yeah.
I was like, I kept expecting Mr. Creosote to explode.
Yeah.
Because that's what I identify with that music. Yes, and of course the cast is full of interesting faces because it's a Shaw Brothers film from the 70s. So there's all sorts of interesting people who pop up. But like you said, Darren, have fuck all else to do. I mean, Pham Mei Sheng has a little bit to do, but he died.
Yeah, I quite liked him being nasty.
Yeah,
that was quite good.
Yeah, and Jimmy. Another one that I was interested to see was what's that name? There's another guy who also I forget his name. He always plays like a buffoonish type in kung fu films, like a little bit of a fatty. He looks a bit like Matt Lucas, a Chinese.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's the retainer who keeps people.
Yeah, and he's always like, he's a bit like that. And now all of a sudden, he's very serious and a tough guy. I was like, oh, that's yeah. But that's all the joys of watching these people in all sorts of. But that's not. You shouldn't give the film credit for that, right? Because that's of this era, right? Yeah. So, and again, apparently we're watching an uncut 90-minute version, right? And again, doesn't it? Anyone else felt a bit cut anyway?
Yeah. There's one particular bit where I have to rewind a couple of times, which is the bit. It's towards the end where there's this handshake.
Right.
And there's this business with the ring, and the ring got this spike on it. And then all of a sudden, it's after the fight.
Yeah.
Except they didn't have a fight.
Yeah.
It's strange, isn't it? Because this is the one that's floating about as it's the uncut version. And I've no idea how long the cut version lasts in that case. I don't know how much.
Well, this is pretty short. This is
90 minutes. 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Which would seem like that would be the cut, because that's the kind of thing they would cut to fit on like a videotape or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But apparently it's not. This is the uncut version and I'm not sure what the source for this either. I don't think it's a VCD. It's a bit too good looking for a VCD. I suspect it might be from a television broadcast, but not very recently because it's not HD. It's good quality, but it's not. So I'm guessing it must be from a broadcast of something. But it's not the one that Celestial put out, right? The one Celestial put out was cut of. Again, I'm not 100% sure what. Maybe some of the nudity, because there's other nudity as well. There's not just Nora Meow. There's some other. And I enjoy seeing when Shaw just bursts into little moments of sleaze. Is always fun.
Oh, this film is well sleazy.
It is sleazy, but it's not sleazy enough.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But there's this bit, isn't there, where Jaguar kidnaps a Guaylo girl or German girl, except she's not German. She's a Chinese woman with a fucking wig on, and just rips her top off for no fucking good reason.
Enjoyed that.
And just hangs her out of a balcony or something.
Yeah,
there's no need for that.
No, but again, good, well done.
Thank you very much. Diolch yn fawr.
Yeah, checks in the post.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know. Again, I don't know. It's something. Again, it's the hoist by their own. Shaw was everything is so well set. costumes, people know what they're doing in fights, the performances are fine, all that. But when everything is that good, when the framework is that good, and then the story is just, well, it's not, oddly enough, it makes it seem more shoddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let me just bring this up as a point of reference, right? What fucking idiot came up with the idea that keys are a deadly weapon? That's not a good idea. And it's, you know what? If they were like fucking razor blade keys, or fucking done something cool to them, but they just look like keys, they're not. They're just fucking keys.
Right.
Maybe the screenwriter sat on a pair of his keys and was like, "Oh," because in fact he does at one point stab himself in the leg. Now that I think about it, with his pair of keys when he's frustrated.
Yeah. And they like go in they go into guns to stop them firing and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
You know,
it's not that cool. It's not that cool a weapon for sure.
They could have made it a lot cooler.
Yeah, I mean, even just saying it. If you said, if someone told me, oh, there's this Shaw Brothers film, it's a gangster film, and they use keys for weapons, you'd be, oh, that could be interesting. But yeah, no, it just it doesn't work at all, right? And that's what I mean. Everything. It's weird. That's why I keep saying this house by their own petard thing. And again, it's a weird thing to accuse someone of, but it's like when you expect this, this high level, and they only bring this. There's like a real sense of disappointment, isn't there?
But you've got to look at what was going on around this time as well. I mean, the Venoms are already in town, right? Right. They haven't made the Venoms yet, the 5 Venoms yet, but they're Venoms are in town. They've been in Shaolin Temple.
Oh yeah, 78, isn't it?
So they've been in Shaolin Temple. Chinatown Kid, I think, is 77. Right? There's a lot of good fucking shit going on in Shaw Brothers at the same time as this.
So really, you take them to, I mean, I'm not taking them to task. I'm because they were doing plenty of other things, fair play. But I'm just, you can only review the film in front of you, right? So I was this is a Shaw Brothers joint you can skip as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing in it other than, I suppose, potential Nora Meow nudity. I'm not going to find that anywhere else.
Can I just quick, because I really shit on a film we just talked about in our related podcast. So can I say 4 things that I quite liked about this? I quite liked the opening credit spaghetti western.
Oh yes,
thing. That appealed to me as a fan of spaghetti westerns.
Cut out art, colourful, flashy.
Well, that's like the Basher intro sequence as well, isn't it?
Yes.
All of the Bashers have that intro sequence.
Yeah, someone freeze frame of someone flying through the air. Like
that was great.
Always good. Always good. Never.
I enjoyed the bit where is it Ling Yun who plays Ko Tang, or he's our German gun guy?
Oh yeah.
I quite enjoyed him taking a header out the window. For some reason. Yeah.
Rather than he just takes his own life. All right then. And
and it's just it's a great scene of him and the whole falling down mannequin-y looking kind of thing like that. I liked the character of Blind Chan, who murders a child by strangling him for no reason that I could fully understand.
Yeah.
But that just seemed grisly and pointless and awesome. And then I liked the last image of the film. I liked the image of him stumbling out.
Oh yeah, with this.
Holding her body in his arms, and there was for me maybe having lower expectations or not having the broader knowledge to place this in its time and place. Yeah, there were things that I enjoyed, and I'm always going to enjoy boobs and blood.
But even you,
I don't think it's great.
Subpar for
and I think just as you pointed out, the amount of double crosses and triple crosses and quadruple crosses, I just got lost and didn't care.
And it doesn't matter if you get lost. That's the thing as well. It doesn't really matter because you still got the main, as long as that main triangle. That's all you really need to know. Which
And
is
there
what
was
I
some
mean.
nice mandolin. There was some nice mandolin music as well. Which
Rather than having a proper
spoke
strong
about.
narrative, it's got, it's a load of incidental stuff, kind of in lieu of a proper
story.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one thing that you can say about this film and that is attractive about this film to the right person is the sleaze. Right? It's relentlessly fucking sleazy.
Yeah, well,
I
am the right person for that, as you know.
No.
But it didn't do it for me.
So if we transport ourselves, right? Me and you, Clive, right, and Nick.
I was going to say, why is Nick not invited?
No, because we have roughly the same kung fu
All right.
film knowledge.
I thought it was
That's the only reason. No. We transport ourselves back to, I don't know, 1999.
Yeah.
Right, where we've not seen that much kung fu, but we like our sleaze. Right.
Right.
We're into our kind of our ultra violence, from Italy and Japan, and we're into our bit of kung fu here and there.
Right.
And anything interesting and a bit nasty.
Right.
Well, if someone told you about this, there's this really fucking weird gangster film from Hong Kong. There's loads of fucking tits and fucking shootouts, and it's just a bit nasty. And you whacked it on your VHS player at the time. I reckon you'd have a fucking ball with it.
I don't know. I'm not because there were other things around that we did see that were bigged up, and we were pretty harsh and snotty about. So I don't know. I know what you're saying, but I'm not sure if this would have cut it for us.
Okay.
Even then.
Yeah, I just want to make room for the fact that a lot of us might be a bit jaded, and this could rock someone's world who is newer.
Yeah, maybe.
I can see that.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, thank you, Rodney. Thank you for sharing, and we very much appreciate that. And it was fun to jump out of the chronology a little bit. And for those Shaw Brothers watchers who are wondering when we're going to stop fucking about with musicals and P. Ramley, answer
about
a while yet.
About 1967 is the answer.
But yeah, we might throw out the odd little tidbit like this every now and again, right?
Yeah, if we keep fucking lingering in 1962, we're never going to get there, are we?
No, but linger we will.
Apparently so.
Yes. Right, let's go.
Right, very good.
Bye.
Tatty bye.
Take it.